Welcome to another edition of my 69 favorite horror films. At number 53 is the 1980 film Alligator. Now, Alligator was directed by Lewis Teague, and if that name sounds familiar, he also directed Cujo. He did Cat's Eye, he even did Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen and Michael Biehn. And the film basically starts off with, you have a little kid whose parents don't like the fact she has this alligator, and they flush it down the toilet. I know this doesn't sound like a winner, but basically it's sort of a little, background where it ends up in the sewers. And apparently throughout the years there are these people, they're sort of doing illegal tests on these animals. Some of them might be dealing with hormones, stuff like that, but they're doing these illegal animal tests, and to dump the bodies, they dump them in the sewers. So the alligator has been feeding on them. Thus it has grown to a proportionate size, aka big motherfucker. And this big motherfucker is pissed off, doesn't want to be in the sewers anymore, and wants to come out to play. And basically busts out and comes out to play. And our hero is Robert Forster, who plays a detective. And he's like a detective which no one really wants to work with, because I think he had like a botched job before, which a partner got killed. But you have an eager guy who wants to be his partner anyway, and they're going in the sewers to do some dead bodies with one of the animal testing guys who dumped the bodies. He was killed. They found some body parts, so they're going in the sewers, and unfortunately his partner, once again this partner gets killed, and they don't buy his story that was an alligator. They think he's full of shit. The guy who's running the illegal test animals doesn't want any friction, so basically gets Robert Forster ultimately canned. But you have a photographer, sort of a journalism type guy, who wants the story, goes in the sewers, and unfortunately he basically takes pictures himself to death. Not of himself, but he saw the alligator, took some pictures, and thankfully he has some pictures that they found which confirms it was an alligator, and the hunt begins. And they actually have a big game hunter played by Henry Silva, same guy who was the bad guy in Above the Law and among many other films. And the film doesn't seem like much, so I know people are like, why put this on your list? Because it has a lot of things going for it. This is one of those films that you watch and you know, if every Sci-Fi Channel film was like this movie, it'd be a better world. Sci-Fi Channel would be a network that people will fucking tune in many, many times. Because you have a film that, first off, the alligator effects for 1980 still look pretty good. I mean, even if you think it looks clunky or if it looks rubbery, it's all practical. And I know there are times where they use an actual alligator and then just actual alligator. I know I stuttered. Actual alligator, but they have the camera back more and the set's a little bit smaller, so it looks like a huge alligator. But the mechanical alligator looks pretty good. In my opinion, they shoot a lot in shadows and stuff, but it looks fairly good. Tremendously better than anything CGI. Like, granted, I have a soft spot for Lake Placid, but even then, alligator doesn't look good. Was it an alligator or crocodile? I can't tell the difference. I know there's a difference, I just can't tell it. But like Lake Placid, I mean, the effects, you can tell it's fake. But here, they're well done. It has a better than average script, and that's because of John Sayles. And John Sayles has written and directed many independent films that have gone to become a lot of critical acclaim. He also worked on scripts for The Howling, Piranha, even Night Skies, the Steven Spielberg flick that Toby Hooper might have been involved in. Rick Baker was doing the effects, and they canceled it because Spielberg wanted to do E.T. instead. John Sayles was writing the script for that one. I think he also did rework on, I think, Apollo 13, and I think Mimic, and I think The Fugitive. I think he did some rework on the writing on those films as well. But John Sayles is a talented writer and has a wit to this film it makes it more fun. That's what I'm getting at. I think Robert Forster himself came up with the idea that since he was going bald, that people would make fun of it, people would comment on it about his receding hairline. I know how he feels. So I could, I know Effrey knows how he feels too, as some other people know how he feels. So it makes you likable, the character likable. And Robert Forster does an excellent job. He's a big reason why I enjoy this movie. Robert Forster, I think, is a talented actor. Of course, many people see him in films like Jackie Brown, among others. But again, he's a talented actor. A lot of fun moments where, they ask, what is he going to do? He's like, I'm going to go out there and throws his keys, catches, I'm going to kick his ass, and like he's trying to get a date. Well, he's on a date and he's talking to this girl. Like, the typical girl who knows a lot about alligators. And she even mentions that she was a kid, someone flushed her little alligator down the sewer, so who knows? This may be the actual Ramon. I think is what she named it. This might be the same one. They don't delve into too much, but they sort of throw that out there. But of course they hook up, and he asks something like, can they go further? And she like kisses him or something. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember a lot because I love his line dialogue. Can I take this as a definitive yes? It's just the way he said it, the way it's done, as a good tongue-in-cheek throughout it, but it never goes into parody. It has some solid sequences, some balls. I mean, you have the scene where these kids sort of dump this other kid into their pool, but the alligator's in the pool, and it grabs the kid, and it's not over the top, like you don't see a kid being ripped apart, but you see just enough to get the hint. And it's like, ooh, wow, that's fucking badass, And of course the scene where it breaks out of the fucking sidewalk, concrete sidewalk, and walks and like kills a fucking police officer, and seeing this alligator going through the city streets is fun times. Anyone who likes B movies, B monster movies, this is one of the best ones out there, in my opinion, because it has its wit. The big game hunter is a crack up. He's trying to hit on this woman while doing an interview, and he's like making these noises and saying, that's a mating call, and does it affect you, Eddie? Something like that. And like he gets these people to help him who's also in the ghetto, because it takes place in New York City, Effrey's neck of the woods. So Effrey has to worry about alligators all the time, along with Frank Zio and Chuds and everything, Ghostbusters, all that stuff in New York. But of course he gets pwned. And again, you get attack sequences. You have a lot of them, some well done ones. Bites one guy's legs off when he's trying to get out of the water because they're trying to hunt him down. The second half of the film, which I like the fact that the second half, people know there's an alligator. It's not one of these movies where for 99% of the movie no one knows it's an alligator. Then maybe the last 5 minutes, oh shit. Because I like that. I mean, you have a bunch of people looking in sewers. You get a bit of body count. Actually, the asshole guy, the asshole villains. A lot of times in these monster movies, you have the evil human guys, evil human bad guys, and they get pwned by the alligator himself, because the alligator fucks up a wedding and whips his tail, whipping people around. It gets to the bad guy's limo, whacks it with his fucking tail, and just smashes the fucking thing, crushing the people inside the limo. And you get a very entertaining ending as well, where they find out what to do with the alligator, and Robert Forster goes in the sewers, and of course trying to get out of the sewers, and someone's parked over it, and he set up a bomb, and he gets out, and the boom explodes in a great way. And I like the way they did it, where the editing, where Robert Forster getting out, they head back to the bomb, he's getting out some more, head back to the bomb, like toot. I don't know, it was a good pace to it. And again, the bad guy gets it, The alligator gets it in a glorious fashion. And the explosion doesn't look half-assed. It doesn't look hokey. It doesn't look cheesy. I don't say shitty, but it doesn't look shitty either, or cheesy. So, yeah, it's a film that sort of knows what it is, and it has fun with it. And I think that's why I love it as well. It's a monster movie that knows what it is and has fun, and it has some good mechanical effects. It has a good cast behind it, the Ralph Forster especially. It has an above average script. So you put all of them together and you get a very fun, entertaining movie.